Yeah. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Pivot Pen. It's been a minute. I got kind of caught with, I don't know what it was, but it was like a lot of coughing, a lot of sore throaty stuff, so I couldn't really talk. But I'm back with segment 4. Just so you know, Pivot Pen writing series I created focuses on the writing process itself. So again, not about story structure, writer's block, imposter syndrome, or honing your craft. None of that. It's for writers who seek change when navigating the creative shift. And it provides a structured approach to what works for you. Because you're the most important part. So yes, I'm Rachel. I have 22 fiction titles across 3 series. I've got short stories in like various anthologies under the pen name Michael A. Jacob. And yeah, Pivot Pen is actually a play on words because it's a playpen for writers. And, a safe space to brainstorm different ways to pivot. And because I have the 22 titles and all that good stuff, I kind of sort of know a little bit about writing. Just a little bit. So, of course, there's no judgment here. Your methods are not wrong. They may need a little tweaking. I do hear a lot about how something must be done a certain way. No ifs, ands, or buts. And I find that limiting. And, yeah, rules are meant to be broken. As long as you know them. And you can finagle and reshape them to fit your situation. Now, segment 4, we are going to be going over the aspects of writing that I believe are critical to the writing process. Previous videos talked about, diagnosis, root causes. If you haven't watched those yet, I do recommend them. But this time, we're going to go about style. Do you have one? Everyone talks about, you hear, oh, that style of writing or their style of writing, do you have one? Now, of course, first things first, the usual bit of housekeeping. These sessions are not part of any accredited class. I am not here to teach you how to improve your writing. I don't make claims of that. This is for informational purposes only. And of course, no parts may be copied, screenshot, or distributed without my express permission. So ask me first. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump into it. This is also another, short and sweet. So the diagnosis and root causes tie into your style. Are you cracking out the same version? Every time. An example of this is when everything you write sounds and looks the same. Like you're it's cookie cutter. That's the word I wanted. It's cookie cutter. Are you trying to copy a specific author and haven't found your unique style yet? And no, we are not talking about plagiarism. That's a no-no. Don't do that. How do you want the story to sound or look? What's your vision? I had a teacher in high school who advised me to dumb down my writing because the average person reads at a 5th grade level. Worst advice ever. And it haunted me for years until another writer told me to write what I want, how I want, and that I can't please everyone. Nope. So you need to know who your target reader is. That's kind of like, your style kind of caters to that particular reader. If they do read at a 5th grade level, cool. If you're going for like mid-grade, college, YA, any of that stuff, that's the route you should go. So you cater your style to that particular reader. And ask yourself where you should change direction. Because I get a lot of people say that I write in like a Stephen King style. I still don't know what that means. But, I write how I want. But depending on what I'm writing, I cater to who that reader is. So yeah, you're kind of like you're changing up your style at the same time. You're keeping the core of what you do, but at the same time, you're kind of, like I said, you're finagling a little bit. In my writing journey, because it's ongoing, I tend to pivot a lot. If something doesn't work, I find another way and I repeat the cycle. I've thrown so many ideas at the wall to see if they stick. I mean, it's a scary concept, but that's how you grow. So yeah, find out your style before you start catering to the reader. How do you write? Do you use big words? Do you use small words? Do you do complex sentences? Is that your thing? Do you use a lot of slang? I found I write very proper. And for certain readers, certain stories, I had to not write that way. I had to be like, oh, that doesn't sound right if everyone's talking in proper form, because most people don't. So I had to learn how to kind of change my style of writing for, certain genres. Like I said, still kind of get a little off. It's not too bad. But anyway, that's probably why it's short and sweet. That's it for this segment. I hope it gives you more insight on how and where to pivot. Next one, we are going to step into the laboratory. And we're going to get some tips and tools for change. So that'll be a little more fun. If you enjoyed this, of course, please hit the like button. You can also find my info below in the links. And until then, happy writing. And I'll see you in the next one. Huh?